Good morning and welcome back to Revealing the Hidden, where we take a deeper look into Jewish living. Today's topic, the kaleidoscope. In a lot of the deeper sources, the Maharal and many of the Bali Chasidus, there's a tripod of three different things that are constantly interacting in the world. There's time, zman. There's makom, there's place. It's time and space. And then there's nefesh, man. It's a kaleidoscope. If you ever look through one and you see all these fantastic colors, and as they interact and as they turn, you see different images of beauty. These three things are always interacting at every moment. And any and every moment of your life that you're in one of them, you should understand that it's a unique moment. It's a unique vision into the kaleidoscope. It's something beautiful that never was before and never will be again. Where your nefesh, that zman, and that makom are interacting. It has incredible importance and incredible holiness. I want to illustrate this idea a little bit through an incredible Gemara. The Gemara on Brachos Daf Zayin describes an amazing story. And we'll come back to this Gemara at other times. But specifically, the Brisa describes that Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, who is the Kohen Gadol at the time, went lifnai v'lifnim into the Kodesh Kedoshim. And as you can understand, if he's the Kohen Gadol and he's lifnai v'lifnim, so we're obviously talking about Yom Kippur. So he had the man of men in the day of days, the Shabbos of Shabbos, Yom Kippur, in the Kodesh of Kedoshim. So you have the kaleidoscope of the holiest person, the holiest time, and the holiest space. All vibing, so to speak, together. And what happens? So the Gemara says, Ra'isi, Yishmael describes that he saw a kasrikel, ka Hashem tzvakos, shaya yoshev al kisir amenisa. That he has a vision and he sees God, or whatever this vision or portrayal. Some of Harshim say it's an angel. He sees Hashem sitting on his throne, and he looks at Yishmael, and he says, Yishmael b'ni barcheni, Yishmael, give me a bracha. Just give me a bracha. What a wild concept. Can you imagine? You see Hashem in the Holy of Holies on the Day of Days, and he's asking you for a bracha. So what does Yishmael do? He goes ahead and he benches him. But he benches him in an interesting way. He says, Yiratzam milfanecha, may be your will, shichbashu rachamecha as kascha, that your mercy should overcome your anger, al golu rachamecha midos al midosecha, and that your rachamim should cover over your other midos, and so on and so forth. And the Gemara concludes, right, that Hashem should go within the letter of the law for the Jewish people, or beyond the letter of the law. And Hashem nods his head, and an ali rosho. Rashi says as if to say Amen, to answer Yishmael's bracha. There's so much to glean from this Gemara. It's wild. Just the idea that Hashem wants to have a bracha, just the idea of this moment in time and this vision that he's seeing. The fact that the bracha was to have mercy on the Jewish people. But I want to just focus in on one thing. I want everyone to understand, and we'll learn about this in different places. There's a kedusha of zman, there's a kedusha of makom, there's a kedusha of man. And at the moments that these are interacting, especially in the holy ones, what do? When you find yourself in a makom kadosh or a zman kadosh, you ask for a bracha, you pray. You want to vibe and connect to that because there's something that can be channeled from that moment that can be brought into this world. The Ramchal, Rav Moshe Chaim Lazaro, in the beginning of Derech Hashem, and he talks about the purpose of tefillah, or the power of tefillah. He says that every single blessing in the entire universe, God created the world in a way that every single blessing, everything that comes into this world, cannot get here without prayer. It's the science of the world. Imagine a gigantic Amazon truck with every bracha you could ever ask for, coming today in heaven, ready for prime delivery before Shabbos, right? So you have a couple hours and you know it's going to get here. But it can't come because the road wasn't paved or the bridge is up. Prayer connects the two, closes and brings down the bridge, paves the path, so that all of those brachas that Hashem wants to be mashpia in this world can come and enter into this world. And every moment that you're alive, there's a chance to bring some of that shafa, to vibe into it, and to connect into it. I want to give one story to illustrate from a student of mine who taught me what it means to appreciate a makom. The place is called Shiloh, the place where the temple, where the Mishkan, stood before it went to before the Beis Hamikdash had been built in the times of Tanakh. And we know the famous story of Chana, who davened to have her son Shmuel born, and Hashem answered her from there. So one of my students and his wife had been trying to have children for a long time and were struggling with it for a long time. And they went for this treatment and that treatment over and over, and finally they decided they were going to go to Shiloh. And they go to Shiloh, to this place where Chana prayed and experienced the nace of having the baby. And they reached out to God. From the makom that they understood, it generates this power of being able to bring life into the world. And they reach out to Hashem and they ask Him, please. And they within a year they had a child. And they had promised during that prayer that they would bring her back to Shiloh again. And a couple of years later they went back and they prayed again, and they were blessed with another child. A couple that couldn't have children for years and years. And all of a sudden Hashem opened up the sky. Now obviously, we don't always see all of these miracles revealed in clear ways, although they're there all the time. But sometimes these messages are kisses from Shamayim, just moments that Hashem wants to remind us, and to show us the power of just talking to Him. And so the challenge, the blessing that I'm asking from all of us together is to take a moment to think about the different things that we're interacting with. Whether it's the power of the Shul, whether it's the power of Shabbos, or Shavuot, there's a Shavuos that's coming up, or Yom Yerushalayim, or whatever, which happens to be also the Yortzeit of Shmuel HaNavi. So whatever Hashkafa you land in, and just appreciating something about what those moments are, and grabbing on tight, and channeling yourself into them. Nefesh, makom, zman, the kaleidoscope. All right. Have a beautiful, uplifting Shabbos. For those of you who are hearing this on Friday, and for those who aren't, whenever the next Shabbos is coming. And we'll see you next day.